Everyone, my name is Michelle Omar Leiber, and I am the president of Carpichaima West Secondary School in Freeport. The reason for this media conference is because my PTA joined the National PTA in March of this year, and after attending several meetings on the executive level, and out in September, there was a special general council meeting that ended in I call it, my words, a coup, that the national executive was removed and an interim committee was put in place. Now, there are a lot of new members, and on the table here with me today are members from other regions, and the gentleman to my right is Mr. Richard Jagasa, attorney at law. Before doing this press conference, we needed to make sure that we're doing the correct thing. But unfortunately now, out of the September situation, the elections of the new executive should have been in November 2019. And due to the breakdown of that meeting, ad hoc committee was put together out of all the region presidents, and there are many meetings, we have never gotten back any information of what is going on. When we in the unit level keep asking questions, we're not getting any information. And on Tuesday, well, we know that the elections are supposed to be in January. And on Tuesday, I got a draft documentation through a WhatsApp message with no signature. And I started to question it, and to date, I've not gotten any information that today is the deadline date for candidates for the positions. Unfortunately, at 6 o'clock this morning, I was greeted by another document, some changes in it that I don't understand. And on Wednesday, when I sat with some members, you know, it was, are we going to comply? Are we going to complain? What are we going to do? And then we all decided, all of us were going up for a candidate position, to comply with the document. As of Wednesday, I put in my candidacy, and I complied. Unfortunately, there's some parts I don't agree with. One of the major things for this press conference, the public of Trinidad and Tobago and parents, officials, the National Parent Teachers Association needs to be asked a lot of questions. With regards to this documents placed here before me, I don't know who else got these documents. I'm asking, as well as some members of the committee, the authenticity of the document, because there were no signatures on both documents, and I got mine via WhatsApp. There was no legitimate form of how this document is going to be sent out to us as of today, and who were the people who were actually behind this document. And there's no venue for the elections. There's no time. There's no date. There's no venue to drop in your documentation for your candidacy. And also, the only thing that we get in this is an email address. Now, questionable again, are we going to be told, oh, your nomination didn't go in because of an email address? So, you know, apart from that registration fee, I've never heard of us as a candidate asking questions from the older heads. Was there ever a registration fee for a candidate? Also, who is the treasurer who is collecting it? What bank account is it going in? But we can't get the questions answered. Now, they set the date for January the 19th for the elections. And we have been told to submit a PowerPoint presentation. Now, between me and you all, have you all ever heard of doing a campaign by a PowerPoint presentation via email? When am I going to meet the other people in the other regions? I don't know. We don't know. And it has come to the point now, when are we going to have time? We are looking for the legitimacy of the procedures of how this election has been put to place, the campaign and the money, hence the reason why we got in contact with Mr. Jagasa on the legality. And I need answers, we need answers, you need answers on how the NPTA is running these elections. We are calling for an independent body for transparency and accountability, because tomorrow we have to give names who are legitimate to actually vote, and also who from our units will be able to vote. And it's too many gray areas, non-areas, and we new members are tired. We are tired. We need proper procedures put into place, and the best independent body to do a fair elections is the Elections and Boundaries Commission. The legality part of it, I will pass over to Mr. Jagasa to give you some extras of where we want to go, but I am pleading to the public of Trinidad and Tobago and the government officials, everybody, we need to start asking questions about the NPTA, because this NGO came out of an act of parliament. This year goes into our 60th year. What have they done? So at this point in time, I am going to hand over to Mr. Jagasa to expatiate a little bit more on what we are going to be proceeding with. Mr. Jagasa, over to you, sir.
Richard Jagasa, attorney at law. I was asked to give an opinion on the situation that is evolving right now with the National Parents and Teachers Association. And what I must say is this. In a country where schools are unable to open and function regularly, like the Edinburgh Primary School was earlier today, the body representing the interests of children, parents, and teachers become vital to the process of furthering our educational system. The body, such as the NPTA, must be held to the highest ethical and moral standards. There must be no question of its legitimacy as it advocates for the rights of school children. There must be no question of its moral standing in society and in the country, as it forces the Ministry of Education to be accountable and to better serve the children of Trinidad and Tobago. Let us not forget that the right to education is a constitutional right, and our forefathers were clearer with almost nothing else. If you are a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, you are entitled to an education. Yet we find ourselves in a position today where we have monies for the Prime Minister residence in Tobago, but not the lunch program. We have monies for the President's house, but not the school buses that take our children from home to school. We have monies for all sorts of things, but not to renovate our schools that are so in desperate need for renovation and relocation. The NPTA has been called to answer those situations, those dire situations in our educational system. And the NPTA itself must have one of the most moral and legitimate appointments in order to do that.
What are we going to be doing on Monday? Please expatiate to the public.
Now, I have advised this team to go ahead and comply with the request in the document that has been unofficially put before them, that is to file their nomination and so on, and then file an action in the High Court to either legitimize the election, which is the end goal here, or postpone the election until a proper process can be outlined and agreed upon by the electorate. Let us remind ourselves that the electorate in this situation are the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who are parents and teachers throughout this country.
Thank you, Mr. Jagasa. I want to let you all know that one of my biggest goals is for the children of Trinidad and Tobago, and I am not going to be stopping here. We need answers, we need transparency, we need accountability. When Mr. Jagasa puts in our claim, our file, I don't know what you call it, but I keep forgetting. I will keep the media and the public at large what is going to be continuing, what has been said, where we're going to go forward. And I want you all to please start asking questions, start calling in, because this is what we need. The NPTA needs to be the body for the children's rights in Trinidad and Tobago in the school and at home. So I want to thank you all for hearing me. If you need any other information, you can get in contact with the NPTA, and I'm just making a joke on that part, but you're going to cut that out. Basically, what I want you all to do is work with us. This team of young, spirited adults who want to see proper change, to move forward, to bring an executive who is going to work not only local but international for the rights of the children in Trinidad and Tobago. So on that point, I'd like to thank you, and we will update you all on what the proceedings moving forward we will be doing by next week. So again, parents, time to get involved in the PTAs in your children's school. Citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, I am pleading to you all. So on that note, I would like to know if anyone of the panel has anything they'd like to add or say. Everybody's a little, no? Well, on that note, I'd like to say thank you very much, everybody. And please stay tuned for some very more revealing information as we move forward. Thank you.